Hare Krishna. So, for the next couple days, we'll go over the Mangala Arati songs, Mangala Arati and Vibhavari Shesha. We should all memorize these songs. And so, to help us memorize them, we will hear about their glories and all the beautiful pastimes of Krishna that are indicated here. So this is composed by Param Gurudev, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, this Mangal Arati song, and then Vibhavari Shesha by Saptam Goswami Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Saptam Goswami Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave us such beautiful songs. They are our treasure in our spiritual life. And so we are in this Bhaktivinoda Dhara. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is described to be Bhakti Bhagirath. Like Bhagirath brought the Ganga to this world by his austerities and devotion and prayers. When bhakti was becoming lost, especially the mood and message and mission of Lord Chaitanya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought again that current of devotion, and with that flood of mercy submerged not just Bengal, not just Vrindavan or Puri, all of India, not only India, but in that line of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, through Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, through our Param Gurudev and his other illustrious disciples, and especially through Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and our Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. This current of the conception of Lord Chaitanya has been distributed throughout the whole world to this present day, and we should understand that this current of bhakti is continuing and it will never stop. Why? This is Bhakti Ganga. How can you control the Ganga's flow or think that you are more powerful or any individual is more powerful than Bhakti? So sometimes we become melancholic or sad seeing the conception being challenged or perhaps even being diluted or lost. But we should understand that Bhakti Devi is very strong and the devotees are very powerful. And so this current of the conception coming from Lord Chaitanya through the six Goswamis, Narottam Thakur, Shyamananda Srinivas Prabhus, through Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and through Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada and our Gurudev and Srila Swami Prabhupada, this will continue. This is the current of the Bhagavat Parampara. Many other acharyas are there, and there are always the bona fide sampradayas are there, different Vaishnavas with different conceptions are there. There may be many streams that come off the main river, but the river flows on. That conception flows on, so we don't have to worry. Our service is to repeat, remember, and to continue to spread the teachings of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our Srila Gurudev, and the six Goswamis and Lord Chaitanya. Since the time of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, it would become in fashion to jump over your gurus and simply think that you can go to the Veda, or you can go to the Bhagavat, or you can go to Mahaprabhu or the Goswamis and neglect your Amnaya. Amnaya means the Vedic teachings through disciplic succession of bona fide spiritual masters. That is the Amnaya. For us, Srila Gurudev said, that is Amnaya. That's the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. The Srimad Bhagavatam is there, the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge, but that's being handed down. Gurudev would give this example. How do you catch a mango? Especially no skin, no seed. So it's passed down very gracefully, very gently from one purified, perfected personality to another. And so we're very lucky to be in that line of descent to receive that nectar. And we should receive that nectar, and to receive it means to relish it. So this is our first lesson. First, we should relish. It's described in the Bhagavatam that there are the cuckoos and the crows. And the cuckoos relish the fruit of the Bhagavatam, and the crows relish Kag Tirtha, a pilgrimage place for crows, means where there is dead bodies that they feast on. What is that feast? It means criticism, offenses to Vaishnavas, doubt, confusion. But if we relish that juicy fruit, then we become triptasya, satisfied. If there's a verse, Nanyata Arati kvachit, we lose taste for other things because we're so full of the nectar of Harikatha from our Guru Parampara. And so we should understand our Gurudev is the Bhagavat Acharya, Bhakta Bhagavat Acharya. His Harikatha is self-same Bhagavat in manifest form, continuing. And so we serve our Srila Gurudev's Harikatha, we remember Srila Gurudev's Harikatha, and this is how we come closer to the six Goswamis, to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to Mahaprabhu, to the Sastra. How do we understand the Bhagavatam? Through Lord Chaitanya, through Chaitanya Charitamrita. How do we understand the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Through the six Goswamis and Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. How do we understand the six Goswamis Harikatha? Through Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and our Srila Gurudev. So since Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's time, people would always try to jump over and then criticize their own guru and think that they have some higher realization. And even, it's crazy to see this even from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, who is the undisputed greatest scholar of his generation in India. Most self-realized, most renounced, chanting 3 lakh Harinam every day for 9 years before he became this Acharya. So he was the most intelligent scholar. Beyond that, for 9 years, every day was chanting 3 lakh Harinam. And yet when he began to preach, after some years, people changed his teachings, discarded his teachings, threw away his books. But there's a new wave of impersonalism, which means to say, it's relativizing everything and trying to harmonize everything, even with that which is disharmonious. So this is what people, let's harmonize everything and glorify everyone, thinking everyone is equal, like you were saying this morning. To glorify someone who is not a Uttam Bhagavat as an Uttam Bhagavat, that's an offense. So after Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's time, when they were deviating from his teachings, saying you should not chant the Mahamantra out loud, this Vaishnav Diksha in his line is not bona fide, they were attacking on so many levels. But now we say, everyone is one, everyone is great, this is just a Leela, this is our conception. This is a very dangerous conception because it's a form of impersonalism. Everything is one. Honor everyone equally. No, yata yogya saman, Mahaprabhu said. Honor everyone according to their position. So this is our service. We should relish the juice, the nectar, and then repeat Gurudev's Katha. And if it is called upon us to defend Gurudev, we also do that, but not in an aggressive way, simply saying we are disciples of Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, we are disciples of Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and it is our duty as their followers and disciples to uphold their teachings, to repeat their teachings again and again and again as long as we live. That's not aggressive, that's not fighting. It's just to say, this is our conception given to us by our spiritual masters, and in their mission, we are following that conception, and we are distributing that conception, and we honor all Vaishnavas. We have no dispute with any Vaishnavas, but we are also not going to be silent. We will spread the teachings of our Gurudev and uphold their honor. So this Mangala Arati, Vibhavareshisa songs, these are very important for us in our spiritual life. This gives all auspiciousness. So we'll try to go through some verses. Maybe we can do the Mangala Arati song today and then work on Vibhavareshisa. And for homework, you can try to memorize this. There's different processes of memorization. We can do this. My aspiration was to have a midday sadhana program. I'll do on Zoom at least a few days of the week, because for people who are looking for spiritual support, especially in the sadhana aspect, which means japa, gayatri, our core sadhanas, and also understanding these bhajans, singing a bhajan together, learning a bhajan, relishing that fruit of bhakti, that our acharyas have given us. This is very important. All right. Mangala Shri Guru Gauda Mangala Murati Mangala Shri Radha Krishna Jugala Piriti. So the first line, Mangala, means auspicious. So Brahma Muhurta is very auspicious. We should wake in this time, Brahma Muhurta. It's a very powerful spiritual time. Before the time of karma begins, there's the time of spiritual life. From morning time, from 9 a.m. or so, everyone is engaged in karma. And for us, we are engaged in devotional service, bhakti yoga. But part of devotional service is also hearing, chanting, remembering. And by part, I mean the main part. Right? The main course. Hearing, chanting, remembering. And then we use our energy and our body to engage in service while also remembering and hearing and chanting. So in the morning, what is most auspicious? We should hear Shri Guru Gauda. All those in the line of Lord Chaitanya, we say Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Jayata. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Without Guru and Gauranga, approaching Shri Radha Krishna and realizing them and achieving their service is not possible. Therefore, first we take shelter of Shri Guru and Gaura and understand Shri Radha Krishna is non-different than Shri Gaur Hari. So how do we approach Radha Krishna? Through Sachinandan Gaur Hari. Then Mangala Murati. Then also we understand the glories of the Shri Vigraha. Those who are not interested in personal relationship with the Lord and service to the Lord do not worship Shri Vigraha or the deity form. They are content to think Shantaras. God is everywhere and I am part of God, but there's no need for any service. This is a form of Shantaras, but this is not our Vrindavan mood. Therefore for us, we worship the deity because imagine here without any Thakurji. What would it be like? It would be a lifeless place where we are simply together for any either benefit, place to live, or for some intellectual reason, but not for bhakti. Here, because Thakurji is present, we have a purpose. Everything centers on their loving service. Nice property for them, clean, cooking. Right? If you don't cook for Thakurji, who are you going to cook for? Well, what do you like today? What do you like today? What do you like today? But we can think, what can we serve nicely for Krishna today? So there's a way for us to develop our relationship with Krishna through deity worship. This is established by the Goswamis, established by Sri Krishna, established by Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu gave his own deity, Vishnupriya Mataji, Vishnupriya Devi, also in Ambika Kalna, Gauridas Pandit. So Murati, this is very important. The importance of deity worship for sadhakas. Whether in the renounced order or in the householder ashram, the Goswamis all established Shri Vigraha Seva, worship of the deity, and all our acharyas have established that as well. So it's very important. All our acharyas in our line have established that. Narottam Das Thakur established, Shamananda Srinivas Prabhu established, all the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada and their missions established, Swami Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev in his temples. People think, no need deity, we can just chant Harinam and we can just do bhajan in the forest. This fosters laziness. I can just eat roots and berries. I can just have a bag of granola. But we wish to go to Vrindavan, and there we wish to be in the party of Srimati Radhika, and every day, twice a day, she cooks for Krishna. But she doesn't just cook, oh, I like cooking. No, she cooks for Krishna. They make outfits for Krishna. This is all Gopi Bhav training. How to develop, meaning in a simple way, how to develop this mood of Krishna consciousness, of loving service. We follow the Braja Gopis and the Brajabasis. I've never heard of the Sakas cooking for Krishna. Maybe in the forest they play and make something. I've never heard of them making outfits for Krishna or making garlands. This is all following in the footsteps of the Braja Gopis. And so Mahaprabhu gave us this deity worship, and Krishna spoke of this deity worship in the Bhagavatam to help us develop the moods in a practical way. Some people, intellectually is one thing, but practically, sitting and making a garland, anyone can do that. But how powerful is that? Oh, to make a garland for Krishna. It's very beautiful. So Murati. Mangala Shri Radha Krishna Jugala Piriti. All glories, all auspiciousness to Radha Krishna, the divine couple. Yugal, the divine couple. Gurudev would always speak of this, the divine couple. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada would call them the divine moieties, which means inseparable halves of the supreme whole. Moiety means they are by nature one, but they are two halves of one. And so that doesn't mean they're one or two. They are one as two. So we shouldn't think Radha Krishna are just one entity. They're Radha Krishna. They're one, but they are eternally inseparable halves of the absolute truth. And so all glories to that divine couple, Shri Radha Krishna, and their love. Piriti. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said the most beautiful two syllables in this world are prema or priti, love. And what is the purest form of that love, the highest form of that love? The original source of all love, that is the love of the divine couple, Radha Krishna. And we are all being invited through this Mangala Arati song in the pre-dawn hours to participate in the service of their transcendental pastimes. All right, so everybody knows this first verse. Mangala Shri Guru Gauda, Mangala Murati, Mangala Shri Radha Krishna, Jugala Piriti. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. We can meditate on this and meditate on the meaning. This is a very simple meaning, and we can go deeper and deeper into this when we do our bhajan. That's why some songs we do every day, Arati songs. This is like our bhajan, and we can go deeper and deeper into this meditation. Mangala Nishanta Lila, Mangala Yudhaye, Mangala Arati Jage, Bhakta Hridhaye. Mangal, all auspiciousness to their Nishanta Lila. This means before the dawn. Radha Krishna, they are in their grove, in their kunj, in a beautiful flower bed. And Mangala Udhaye, this is the time when they arise and we do their arati. The Sakis, especially Lalita Vishaka and the Manjaris, perform their arati. The depths of this bhajan we can go into later. We can read from Prabhuji's Nectar of Govinda Lilamrita book. He gives a very innocent, sweet, beautiful description. We have this book, so we can read this later. Mangala Arati Jage. May this auspicious darshan enter within the hearts of the devotees. This arati, when the Sakis Manjaris perform their arati to Radha Krishna, may this awaken within our hearts. So this is a very beautiful opportunity for us to engage our body, mind, and senses, waking from slumber of Maya, and then performing arati, and then through doing this, gradually this can awaken in our heart. So we pray for that Mangala Arati to awaken in our heart. Tomara nidraya jiva, nidrita dharaya, tava jagarani vishwa, jai jagarito hoya. Tomara nidraya jiva, nidrita dharaya. During your slumber, O Lord, the jivas remain sleeping in this world. But upon your rising, the whole world awakens. Tava jagarane bishwa. Jai Vrindavan Prabhu Hiro. I saved you some prasadam in your room. I don't know if you got it. And I was going to tell you, but some ice cream in the fridge. We'll give you later. So we're going over the Mangalarti song. Tava jagarane bishwa jagarita hoy. How can... It said in the beginning of the universe, everything was there, but until the Supreme Lord awoke, everyone remained unconscious. So doing this arati, it said first Paramatma, the Super Soul, in the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu form was worshipped, arati, and then he awoke, and then everything came into being. Everything began to be activated. And so we are praying that may the Lord look upon us in this world with his merciful glance. He is always in his divine loving pastimes, relishing the moods of the love of his devotees. We're praying for his, this is shown in the next verse. Shubha drishti karo ebhe jagatera prati jaguka hridaye mora shumangala rati. O Lord, please bestow your merciful glance upon this world just now. Ebe, just now. Jaguka hridaye mora. Again, this verse is mentioning the heart. In my heart, awaken. Sumangala rati, that divine, auspicious attraction. So this whole song is Mangala Arati, but here Param Gurudev used the word Sumangala. It's a very beautiful name. We should have some devotees. When we have an S devotee, we can give them the name Sumangala. We had a Sumangala, right? Gurudev has Sumangala.
Yeah.
Right? Sumangala means, yes, okay. Supremely auspicious, beautifully auspicious, Su. Right? Suyodhana, supremely fortunate. So Sumangala Rati, how can this supremely auspicious, beautiful attraction awaken in our heart? So this goes back to Gurudev's and Param Gurudev's and Bhaktivinoda Thakur's teaching that bhakti is in the heart, present, latent, which means it's a permanent, essential characteristic. A permanent, inherent, essential characteristic. There is a mood. That means there is bhakti at its root, means to love something, to adore, and then to serve. Service as the expression of your love. So may that love awaken in our heart at this time of Mangala Arati. Jaguka. So you see these, Mangala Arati is a very important time because to awaken is part of the process of spiritual life. The Vedas say, Uttishta, you should arise. Krishna told Arjuna, Tyakta Uttishta, give up this petty weakness and arise, wake up, Uttishta. Right? And so in the Mangala Arati song, in the Upanishad it says, Uttishtata Jagrata, you should get up. Uttishta means get up, and Jagrata means wake up. I know we would go on parikrama with Prabhuji at like 2 a.m, and so sometimes you would get up but not wake up. There's a difference. That's why it says you should get up, Uttishta, and then you should wake up, Jagaran. We would do Vrindavan parikrama, and Prem Pradeep Prabhu would walk with his head on the back of Kokil Prabhu. He's a very strong protector, and we do Vrindavan parikrama like sleepwalking. I've done it, I know. And sometimes, like once you get past the ghat where we do Arati to Jamuna, Keshi Ghat, that last stretch, sometimes you're just so tired. Why you went to bed at like 11, got up at like 2:30, you have to do parikrama before Mangala Arati. We would go and do Arati to Jamuna Devi and then come back for Mangala Arati. Right? I remember we used to do this in Mathura, Keshaji Gaudiya Mat, for Katyani Vrat. We would wake up, go to the Jamuna. It was so cold, fog, and we'd jump in the Jamuna 3 times, and then come back freezing to Mat, and then go for Mangala Arati, and wow, your whole day is very Mangal, very auspicious. Then you have a big feast at lunch and Sayan.
Where would you bathe there?
Vishram Ghat. Yeah. And sometimes every day we'd go and meet all the neighborhood dogs. Hey! So waking up. So 3rd verse and 4th verse. But how do we wake up? Tomara nidraya jiva nidrita darai tava jagarani bishwa jagarita hoy. When the Lord gives his merciful glance to this world, when he is arising, then we can all also awaken. What does that mean? It said when Krishna appeared in this world, then the whole world was able to awaken in spiritual life. When Mahaprabhu appeared in this world, the whole world awakened in spiritual life. When our Guru Varga comes, it's like everyone becomes awake in spiritual life. In the Gita it said that when the sadhus are awake, everyone likes to be asleep. And when everyone is asleep, the sadhus are awake. But when you're in the presence of the sadhu, you also become awake. By good fortune and by a good mood and sukriti, if you have the association of sadhus, that's why Gurudev would say, oh, in the time of Swami Prabhupada, you were so active, so dynamic. Why did you lose enthusiasm after him? Oh, because you thought he left. The same way with Gurudev. We think, oh, Gurudev is gone, now we need to find more shelter. We should always be in shelter. But Gurudev is always giving shelter, and his followers are always giving shelter. And then we provide shelter and help others, and also take guidance, take blessings, how to have Guru Bhakti and serve our Gurudev's mission. All Vaishnavas, what I know is that if you pray to any Vaishnav for Guru Bhakti and Guru Nishta, they will grant, because their life is based on that also, for their Guru and for their mission. Their strength, everything is based on Guru Nishta and Guru Bhakti. So if you pray to any Vaishnav, you serve the Vaishnav, hear from the Vaishnav, give charity to the Vaishnav, then pray, oh, dear Vaishnav Thakur, please bless me with Guru Bhakti, Guru Nishta, and Guru Seva. It's very powerful. So, Subhadrishti Karo, when Krishna appeared in this world, but it said when Krishna left, then so many problems came. But not for those who are following Bhakti. That's why the Goswamis established, even Krishna's grandchildren, right? He established Krishna's Murti. So our Gurudev's Murti is here. Gurudev's books are here. His Vani is here. So Gurudev is present here. I know this from Radhe Kunj with Prabhuji. Every other day he's telling us, Gurudev said this, Gurudev had this dream, Gurudev came and did this. Every other day he's talking, and he said, oh, you can't understand, so I'm just telling you sometimes. But really, it's all the time he's absorbed in Srila Gurudev. Therefore, he's always with Srila Gurudev. And what did Gurudev say to you? If you remember me, I am there with you. He's always here, but unless we think of him and remember him, then where are we? Where is he? We are the curtain of Maya, that veil, we are putting over our own eyes. So we remember Srila Gurudev. And then we pray for his darshan. So we come before the deities so they may have darshan upon us, so that jaguka hridaye, to really awaken means bhav should arise in our heart. And Gurudev said that bhav, bhakti, ecstatic devotion or love, that can come in the association of the Uttam Vaishnav, the topmost devotee. Madhyam and Madhyam Uttam are qualified to be Guru, and they can help you come up to their stage, but to achieve bhav bhakti, the association of the Uttam Vaishnav is needed. This is Srila Gurudev's description. But he said Madhyam Vaishnavas are very helpful for the world because they train and they help people develop Shraddha through their intellectual discourse and through their mood. If they're very fixed in that, they can convince people of Krishna consciousness and then help them follow the process. Follow Ekadashi, chant Harinam, worship the deity, serve the Vaishnavas, hear Harikatha, follow the limbs of Bhakti and develop the platform and the ability to receive higher knowledge from great personalities. And so Gurudev said that all of these levels of Vaishnavas are very helpful, but we should not remove. We should say, oh, no one should be a Kanishta. No, that means no one can become a Madhyam. Uttam is already Uttam. But how do you become a Madhyam Vaishnav as a sadhaka? You have to be a Kanishta first. So we should honor that position and understand how to help people come to that platform, and then how to help them come, as Tirthanidhi Mataji say, we should always want to progress. So ultimately, Jaguka Hridhaye Mora Sumangala Rati, how will that highest Rati awaken in our heart? You have to have someone on that platform, and by their grace, by their touch, by their merciful glance. Gurudev would say again and again, we are in the process of kripa, mercy. We require that mercy of the pure devotees. So from that verse, then it comes into the more beautiful indications of the sweetness of Vrindavan. We're going to have Arati in a few minutes, so we'll go over a couple more verses, okay? Mayura sukadi sari kato pikaraja Mangala jagaro hitu korechi virajo. In Vrindavan at this time, see these two previous verses, actually the second to fourth verses, jage, jage, bhakata hridaya, in our heart, How can this be realized? And then the fourth verse, Jaguka Hridaya Mora, not just seen, but experience that rati. And how is it possible? By the merciful glance of the Lord, by His appearing before our vision. Then we can understand Mayura, the peacock, Sukadi, the male and female parrots. Sukadi means both. Suk and Sadi, Sukadi. Mayura, Sukadi, Sadi, the different peacocks, parrots, and female parrots. Koto Pikaraj, and the cuckoos. Mangala Jagara Hetu Kore Chie Viraj. They are serving to awaken the divine couple by the arrangement of Brinda Devi. Brinda Devi, the presiding goddess of the forest of Vrindavan, very beautiful Saki, who is our Tulsi Maharani here in this world for our benefit. Tulsi Devi is actually the most merciful. We have Giriraj Govardhan, Jamuna Devi, and Tulasi Maharani. And Giriraj Govardhan is supremely merciful because he also travels. He's also Parivrajak, because he is Haridasa Varya, the greatest servant of Sri Hari. And he is also Hari himself, Shakshad Haritvena. So he travels, Parivrajak Acharya. Giriraj is Parivrajak Acharya. Devotees can take Giriraj everywhere they go, right? And he's also all around the world. So Giriraj is Acharya, Parivrajak Acharya. And Tulsi Maharani, she also manifests all over the world, but she will stay in each place. I've never heard of sannyasis traveling with a tulsi plant. But she is supremely merciful. She's on our neck beads, she's on our japa. She travels everywhere in the form of our kantimala and our japamala. And as in her plant form, she's always present, but that's true also. We shouldn't think Tulsi Devi is not alive here. She is transcendental. So she is present here with everyone. So anything we eat, we should think, oh, to be a Vaishnava means you wear kantimala, then you should take only things that are favorable to Krishna. Only Krishna Prasad should pass this point. So if you want to eat something that's not good for Prasad, then you can chew it and spit it out. Like, oh, you like garlic so much, I need garlic chips. Okay, no problem, chew it, and then chew some more, spit it out. But what should pass this point? Only Krishna Prasad. What should come out of this throat? Only Krishna Katha. What should come into the ears through this point, into the heart? Only Krishna Katha. So Tulsi Devi is very merciful. And Jamuna Devi also appears everywhere. Why? Om Gange Cha Yamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri. It's said simply by meditating on Jamuna Devi, you get the benefit of snan, bathing in the holy rivers. So Jamunaka Dhyan, we should meditate every day on Jamuna Devi. And Raghunath Das Goswami said every day, Dhyanam Nitya Govardhanam Anudinam. Every day meditate on Giriraj Govardhan. Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatam. Every day we should meditate on Giriraj Govardhan. He is very powerful. So Brinda Devi is arranging this beautiful symphony where all the different associates and her attendants are awakening the divine couple with a very beautiful, sweet, melodious singing. Sumadura dvani kare jato saki gana Mangala shravane bhaje madhura kujana. The birds on the branches make the sweetest sounds. Sumadura dvani kare jato shaki gan, and also the sakis. I don't think the translation here is complete. Sumadura dvani kare jato shaki gan Mangala shravane bhaje Madhura Kujan. And in that kunj, the auspicious sounds of their singing is heard. And so this is Kujan, this very sweet, auspicious kirtan. So sometimes you hear this in the early morning, all the different birds starting to awaken, and see, you can hear. That's why this place is, it said, a forest is sattvic. You have birds and animals living, and very good for meditation. And the temple is nirgun. So we're lucky that we have a sattvic and nirgun environment here. So it's very good for spiritual life. But you have to be careful not to become complacent. We have to be active, and then we have to do bhajan And then we have to do seva. So we're not attached to any beautiful environment. We should be attached to helping people and helping ourselves progress in spiritual life. But the environment is also very favorable. This is the kind of place where Param Gurudev would bring brahmacharis who got sick or disturbed. Oh, come stay here sometime, right? Be in a natural environment, drink clean water. When anyone would get sick, they would come to a place like this. And when anyone was very strong, okay, go out and preach into the cities. So this is a good place to go out and preach and then come back and become spiritually strong again. This place is for developing our spiritual strength.
Haridwar after being sick. That's the place to go. Haridwar was a place to go drink good water and be healthy.
So this is our Haridwar, Vrindavan Dwar.
Yeah.
Kusumita Sorobhare Kamala Hilola Mangala Shorabha Bhahe Pavana Kalola. So Param Gurudev is in his own dhyan, meditating on this, and he's giving us little glimpses of this lila that helps us, a form of smaranam. So he's guiding us through this kirtan, how to enter into smaranam, remembrance. And remembrance works like it's a mood, and if you can enter that meditation, you meditate on it, then gradually everything can be revealed. And this can give you great solace and strength in your sadhana, in your practice. Otherwise, we're always looking for happiness and enjoyment. But if you can meditate on these leelas, very simple way, Kushumita Sorovara, if you can meditate on the beauty of this beautiful lake, in a pond filled with many varieties of flowers, lotuses sway to and fro, gently billowing breezes carry their auspicious fragrance in all directions. So Shri Radha Krishna are nearby this beautiful pond, lake. Param Gurudev was very conservative, and Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was also very conservative in their approach and how much they would allow people to hear and sing very exalted songs. But Mangala Arati is very clear, very direct. And by following the sadhana nicely, then quickly you can enter into smarana dasa.
Yeah, I've always said this is like our Siddha Pranali.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
First thing we do in the morning.
Yeah.
Given to us.
This is our Siddha Pranali. It's true. And then Param Gurudev comes back out into external consciousness and sings Janjara Kansara Ganta Shankar Karatala Mangala Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasala. The supremely sweet combination of the Janjara, the cymbals, the Kansara, the gong, Ganta, the bells, Shankar, the conch, karatals, and the mridanga are resonating most sweetly. I've seen some temples in Godrum and other mats in Navadvip, and you go for Mangalarti, and it's like Gaurarti dance at Mangalarti. I've seen them. They do Mangalarti, and then after Vibhavareshis, they do a big, like 10-15 minutes dancing kirtan. It's very beautiful. So the idea is that this is a very joyous celebration. It's a celebratory mood. Like I was speaking about last night a little bit, there's many different people, so many different moods. When you have one group, one mood, it's easy to speak in a focused way. But really, we should understand our spiritual process is not dry, painful, austerity, penance. We don't hear our acharyas, they sit in the sun when it's hot and sweat, or they sit in the ice when it's cold. You know, this is not our process. Our process is come to Mangala Arati, come to Noon Arati, hear Harikatha. This is our sadhana, this is our tapasya, this is our everything. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada. Austerity can make the heart dry. But bhakti sadhan and hearing Harikatha and doing kirtan and meditating on, as you practice Harinam, Japa and meditation, then this is a very sweet process. And it makes you also detached from the circumstances around you in the world. You should find a favorable environment, but also for a sadhu, every place is favorable. You can sit under any tree and chant Hare Krishna. In the West, it's a little difficult. In Vrindavan, in India, they respect the position of sadhus. And so really you can live in India just as a beggar with respect. and you can just wander place to place and sit and meditate. Even now, it's difficult, but still now you could do it. America is a little more difficult. That's why Vaishnavas have told us you should establish centers for Gurudev, maintain those nicely, because this can give shelter to sincere sadhakas, so they don't have to toil in this tortuous samsaric karmic life. They can come and do bhajan. So Param Gurudev is teaching us how to do real bhajan. What is our austerity? Simply follow bhakti, shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam. Then pada sevanam. Right? So in the morning time, shravanam, hearing the conch shells, hearing the mridanga. This is also shravanam. Why? This gives you, you remember, it gives you such favorable impressions. Arati, incense, all those experiences. And then it brings your mind back to Krishna. So the beauty of hearing the conch shell, the mridanga, the ganta, and then the bhajan, the song. We should hear this, and then we should do kirtan. And while doing this kirtan, we can also understand the meaning of the bhajan. Gradually we'll enter in deeper and deeper. But even that general meaning, we should understand that when we're singing it, Param Gurudev is not hidden it from us. Especially for those who are Bengali. It's very simple. This is like speaking English for them. For us, it's like I have to memorize it. And that's why Vibhavadesh is also very simple. It's all code. Ravanantaka. It's a code for different pastimes. Chitta Hari Bangsidhari. Each of these lines each line is like a lila. And so it's leading us into the smarana stage. All right, so we'll have Arati here. Last verse. It's very nice, fresh air. No problem, you can close. Mangala Arati Kare Bhakatera Gana Abhaga Keshava Kare Nama Sankirtana. While the devotees perform Mangala Arati, this unfortunate Keshav, the servant of Sri Keshav, here in brackets, Sri Keshava Das, so that for those in his line singing, Nama Sankirtan, perform Nam Sankirtan. This is very important for us. There's so much more to say. This is just a half-hour synopsis. Our acharyas are always in the mood of humility, and so this is important meditation. Sometimes we say, no, we should not say this line, we should not say this. But Gurudev liked it, and probably says you can sing, but you should not think this is true. Abhaga, this unfortunate, no, you should not think this is true. But this is teaching us humility. If Param Gurudev is saying he's unfortunate, what is our position? And we should understand the glory. This song is very important for us because we should understand the glory of Srila Bhakti Pragan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. This is a longer discussion for another time. I've spoken about this before. You cannot approach Sri Mati Radhika without the mercy of Sri Rupa Manjari. You cannot approach Mahabhagavad Guru without the mercy of their intimate sevakas. So Param Gurudev was the most intimate sevak for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. He had the most intimate relation. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada would call him Tum or Tu. Very intimate. He had a very close connection. For others he would say Aap with a very respectful tone. Param Gurudev had such a deep, deep connection. He was such a dear sevak. He fulfilled his manobishta. Many other of his disciples also, but especially Param Gurudev helped fulfill the manobishta of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. But in a hidden way. Like most people think of Krishna, they don't even know who's Radha. And those who know of Radha, how many know Rupa Manjari? We know, because our Gurudev taught us this again and again and again. But I've traveled and I preach and I say, you know who's Krishna? Yes. Do you know who's Radha? Who's that? You'd be surprised. Almost no one knows. So what to speak of Sri Rupa Manjari? So it's easy to know of the Guru, the Acharya. But what about their sevakas? So Param Gurudev, this song for us, forever in our mission, we'll have this song and we'll never forget Param Gurudev. We'll never forget his teachings. Like this book, Acharya Kesha, that we're reading from. Param Gurudev is such a glorious, glorious Acharya, and he is our grandfather, so he has so much affection for us. Anytime you have any doubt or sadness, you simply pray to Param Gurudev, and all protection is there. For those continuing in our line, Gurudev is like Param Gurudev also. You may think, but really you should think Gurudev is our founder Acharya. So either you're a Shiksha Guru, if not you're Diksha Guru, but still, like in ISKCON, Prabhupada is not Param Gurudev. I don't know if people call Prabhupada Param Gurudev in ISKCON. Obviously he is for his disciples. But for disciples of like Radha Swami disciples, they call Prabhupada Param Gurudev. He is, but still, Prabhupada is Prabhupada in ISKCON. So for our mission, Gurudev is Gurudev, and Param Gurudev is Param Gurudev.
That word Param Gurudev to the...
Yeah, they didn't know. We should think Param Gurudev is the grandfather of our mission.
It was there a long time ago in Islam. Param Gurudev was Bhakta says.
Yeah.
But no.
So Param Gurudev is so affectionate and so merciful, so kind and so loving. Whenever you look at Gurudev or Prabhupada or the Guru Varga, you should think how much love they have for you. This is your meditation. Think like that. How much they have for each and every one who comes, who is here. How much overflowing love is always pouring out of them. And from the Murti, they're present. The Ramanujacharya line, they have Ramanujacharya's Murti, and you can go and pray before him. So much mercy is there. So the beginning of the song started with Mangala Shri Guru Gora, Mangala Murati. If you don't have faith in Shri Vigraha, very difficult to develop in bhajan. Faith in Shri Vigraha, then Nam Bhajan you can enter. But Shri Vigraha Tattva is very important. Param Gurudev also wrote this song, Radha Chinta Niveshana. We should understand this and learn this song. This is very important for our mission. So we'll learn these songs, but we should think of this. This is your meditation. You should think Thakurji is present, Gurudev is present, Prabhupada is present, the Guru Varga is present, and they have so much overflowing love for everyone who is trying to follow bhakti, from the lowest to the highest. And Gurudev said, especially those who are suffering, who are disturbed, who have bad tendencies, their love is overflowing. Someone who is good and a good son, yes, they'll give some love and affection, but a bad son, they'll give more love and affection because he needs more love and affection. But you should think they are present and they're overflowing with compassion. They're overflowing with love. Like an endless reservoir of love, like Mother Yashoda's love. How much love she has? Endless. Krishna can drink her breast milk eternally and it never becomes less. So our Guru Varga, they are also like Mother Yashoda. Gurudev described this. They have endless love, Vatsalya Matri Koti, like the love of 10 million mothers. And they're saying, oh, there's a little tiny bit of bhakti mood awakening. How can I support and nourish that? How can I arrange everything for that? All the situations in temple life, oh, this disturbance, that disturbance, that's all favorable because it's all their arrangement to help us develop. Right? It becomes favorable because when we're suffering, then we cry out. When a baby is disturbed, it cries out for its mother. So we have to understand this world is not ultimately our favorable condition. We're in the threefold miseries, birth, death, old age, and disease as well. So we should pray to them for their mercy, for their grace, for their presence, that we can progress in spiritual life. Vanchakalpatrubhasya kripa sindhuvecha pritanang bhavane vaishne Srila Bhakti Pragan Keshav Goswami Maharaja ki jai, Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.